Hey friends, thanks for joining us here at Non-Toxic Home today. I'm glad you're here. Today we are talking about radio frequencies. Can they kill you? Are they potentially lethal? Have they killed people? Could they kill people? Will they kill people? Not exactly the most pleasant topic, is it? Well, for those of us who are sensitive to radio frequencies, we don't have a choice. We have to think about it. We have to think about it because we don't want to die. Quite yet. And this is an exaggeration at all. Not even a little bit. I'll drop some links below to previous articles that I have written and shared as to my experience with a smart meter. I had to use epinephrine, emergency epinephrine. That means an EpiPen, because my throat slammed shut on me 3 different times before I finally figured out what the problem was, what the cause was. I've also had a basically near-death experience due to G or G5, if you prefer, 5-GR. That's slightly different than the typical radio frequency radiation, but it's still radio frequency radiation. The G5 or 5-GR simply utilizes millimeter frequencies in addition to the typical frequencies that we're exposed to. Now, products or devices that emit radio frequencies are those that integrate with the Internet of Things. These days, just about everything can integrate with the Internet of Things. In fact, for our healthy home here, we had to spend $10 more to buy a, quote, dumb, end quote, water heater. Still ticks me off. Who needs a water heater integrated with the Internet of Things? No one. Ever. Anywhere. Period. There's no reason for it. There's no excuse. They just want to irradiate us, friends. Oh, my goodness. Cell phones emit radio frequencies. Bluetooth devices, anything that uses Wi-Fi, including Wi-Fi routers, cell phone towers, small cell towers, whatever you want to call them. These satellites in the sky, however they're up there, they emit radio frequencies. Let's see, what else? Smart meters, computers. There are many devices. Unless it's wired, and even if it's wired in some cases, it's emitting radio frequencies these days if you're buying new technology. In fact, it's difficult to find air conditioners that fit in your window that don't integrate with the Internet of Things. That's becoming increasingly more difficult, which is concerning because we use window air conditioners. I don't tolerate forced air as a human canary. I'm sensitive to everything. So now that we've discussed some of the devices that emit radio frequencies and touched on what radio frequencies are, let's talk about how radio frequencies can impact you. Radio frequencies are known mast cell degranulators. This means that when they come upon a mast cell in your body, it basically tells your mast cell to freak out. It's time for nuclear Armageddon. Your mast cell basically declares mutually assured destruction, dumps so many different chemicals into your body that they haven't even all been identified yet. These chemicals trigger other mast cells. They trigger other cells in your body. They circulate in your body. They impact the cellular tissue. They impact your brain. Mast cells are all over in your body. They're in every organ, in every body system. Because of this, those of us with mast cell activation syndrome or mastocytosis, which are both types of mast cell activation disorders, often have problems with radio frequencies. Unfortunately, this is not common knowledge for treating physicians or medical professionals. They're very reliant on radio frequencies, aren't they? Just look at all of the 5-GER hospitals. It's very problematic. Now, for individuals such as myself, who have a severe case of mast cell activation syndrome, and as a result are electromagnetically hypersensitive, or have EHS, we have to go live in the woods. We have to stay away from radio frequencies. And when we are exposed, whether we know it or not, sometimes we end up in anaphylaxis. And anaphylaxis can be lethal. Now, this past Saturday, we had a FedEx delivery. Typically, delivery drivers leave parcels near the front of our property, and we monitor them throughout the day. My husband goes up and gets them. Sometimes I do. I can tolerate a little bit of exposure up by the road. People drive by quickly, so it is a tiny bit of cellular exposure, but not much. And these particular parcels required a signature. So we got a phone call on our landline, of course, not a cell phone. And I instructed the individual to turn off his cell phone and bring the parcels back to our property, back to near the house. And he did so. I stayed in the house because I'm chemically sensitive as well. My husband went out and signed for the parcels, put the parcels in the back of his truck in case it rained, because he didn't want it to get rained on. I had some symptoms later that day, didn't really know why. Oftentimes, when I am EMF'd, my symptoms are emotional and mental. I basically become a crazed, insane woman. The language that comes out of my mouth sometimes is not something I can repeat. It's absolutely terrible. Talk about a potty mouth. Sometimes the things that I say are unrepeatable. It's absolutely terrible. My poor husband. Fortunately, my husband can generally recognize when I'm experiencing these issues. Oftentimes I have at least one other symptom. This can range from heart palpitations, chest pain. I literally feel like I'm having a heart attack sometimes. I can have brain fog, shortness of breath. Let's see what else. Sometimes generalized pain. That can be a symptom of mast cell activation syndrome, regardless of what your idiot doctor tells you. I'm looking at you, I say to the doctor who tried to tell me that I was full of crap when I tried to provide him with journals and he refused to read said journals. Cognitive dissonance, anyone? Somebody got bought by the industry, right? Most doctors and physicians, nurses, other medical professionals don't have the slightest clue that they are irradiating themselves. Many wear Fitbits and count their steps every day. Oh, stop it, please. If you have a Fitbit, get rid of it. It's causing you tangible harm to your body. Don't do it. I also have symptoms such as throat swelling. One of my early symptoms of anaphylaxis is clearing my throat and just like my voice change as well. That can happen too. It's common for me. The thing about anaphylaxis is that it's different for everyone. Now, technically, anaphylaxis is the involvement of two bodily symptoms or systems encompassing allergic symptoms. Now, you do not have to have hives to go into anaphylaxis. I've never had hives when I went into anaphylaxis, and I've literally used hundreds of EpiPens. But if you go to the hospital, the ER, chances are very high that they will look and see if you have hives, and if you don't have hives, they will tell you that you are lying and that you cannot possibly be in anaphylaxis. I had an Epi once when I was at an ER after I had Epi'd because he completely ignored me. After that episode, my allergist at the time, who I of course fired since because I don't fall for his crap, he finally said, okay, just when you have anaphylaxis, just don't go to the ER because they don't know what to do with you. At least he admitted that. They don't know what to do with you, because they don't know what to do with you when you go to the ER and you have anaphylaxis unless you're covered in hives. It's very rare that physicians have a clue. Some do. Thank you for those who do. I appreciate you. Please do more research into latex allergies and anaphylaxis, as well as into mast cell activation disorders, because we need more medical professionals who have a clue. So you can have all these symptoms, and you can also have your throat completely slammed shut on you. I've had my throat completely slammed shut on me as a result of being exposed to radio frequencies multiple times. Now, this is only my experience. These are only my issues. I'm only one person. There are others out there. You just don't know it, because we're all sick. We're all sick, and we've been trying to warn you and others for years to stop using your cell phone, turn off your Wi-Fi, go wired, ditch the cell phone if you can. I have an emergency cell phone that I keep in a Faraday box that I made for when my husband isn't here, because I also have a tendency to dislocate my joints because I'm vaccine injured. I'm a hot mess, obviously, and it was avoidable. But this is all by design. Our bodies are under attack for a reason, so we have to fight back. And we fight back with knowledge and then taking action on that knowledge. Now, you know now, if you didn't before, that radio frequencies can literally kill you. And that they have literally almost killed other people, and they possibly, and most likely, have killed other people. What are you going to do with that information? The choice is up to you. I beseech you to please share this video with others so that others can learn the truth about radio frequency radiation and the danger of exposing yourself and your children to something that is known to cause harm. I'm only discussing a small aspect of the harm caused. Thanks so much for being here. Please like this video. Please share this video. And please be sure to head over to our website and subscribe to our weekly newsletter so you don't miss new posts. Have a most beautiful and blessed day. Our Redeemer lives, and no weapon formed against us shall prosper.